Let's get one thing straight. For years, the world of fighter jets has had a sort of undisputed king of the playground, the American F-35 Lightning II. It's the one with all the bells and whistles, the stealth, the jaw-dropping price tag, and the backing of the world's biggest superpower. Everyone just sort of assumed that if you were a serious country looking for a top-tier jet, you'd queue up, sign the enormous check, and wait for your F-35s to arrive. It was, for all intents and purposes, the default choice, a bit like ordering a Coke. You just do it. But now, something properly unexpected has happened. The script has been well and truly ripped up. Suddenly, countries that were locked in, money down, are having second thoughts. And this isn't some small, insignificant wobble. We're talking about major NATO allies like Canada and Portugal. They're looking at the F-35 contract on their desk, then glancing over at a different brochure entirely, one from Sweden. This has sent a proper shockwave through the defense world. It's like finding out your neighbor is trading in his brand new Range Rover for a surprisingly brilliant Volvo. You'd be stunned. The reason? It seems the world is getting a bit nervous about putting all its eggs in one American basket, especially with the winds of political change blowing so unpredictably from Washington these days. The heart of the matter seems to be a growing sense of unease. Recent shifts in American foreign policy, talk of new tariffs, and a less predictable stance on global alliances have made some nations jittery. They're starting to wonder if relying so completely on the U.S. for their most critical defense asset is a wise long-term strategy. What happens if political moods change again? What if access to crucial software updates or spare parts becomes a bargaining chip in a future trade dispute? These aren't just technical questions, they're fundamental questions about national security and independence, and they are causing a major rethink in capital cities around the globe. This hesitation is creating an opening, a crack in the F-35's armor of invincibility, and slipping neatly into that crack is the Saab JAS 39 Gripen E. It's always been seen as the clever, capable, but perhaps less glamorous alternative, the underdog. Now, however, its very nature as a non-American platform is becoming one of its biggest selling points. Canada, even after committing to 88 F-35s, is now hitting the pause button to review its options. This isn't just a minor hiccup for the F-35 program, it's a genuine challenge to its dominance, proving that in the high stakes of air power, nothing is ever truly guaranteed. So what is this Swedish jet that's causing such a fuss? Is it just a cheaper, less capable option? Absolutely not. The Gripen is what you call a 4.5 generation fighter. It might not have the all-over radar and visible stealth of the F-35, but it has some seriously clever tricks up its sleeve. Saab has been building brilliant jets for decades, and they've poured all that experience into this machine. Its biggest party piece is its brain, a massively advanced sensor system that is, according to Saab, every bit as good as the F-35, and in some ways even smarter. It's designed to be a hunter. The real genius lies in how it processes information. The Gripen E uses a revolutionary amount of automation and artificial intelligence. Think of it this way. In an older jet, the pilot is juggling a dozen different screens and sensors, trying to build a mental picture of the battlefield. It's incredibly demanding. The Gripen E does most of that work for the pilot. Its systems fuse all the data from its radar, infrared sensors, and electronic warfare suite, then uses AI to analyze it, identify threats, and suggest the best course of action. This frees up the pilot to be a strategist, not just an operator, making decisions instead of managing systems. This advanced electronic brain gives the Gripen a crucial edge. It's reportedly brilliant at detecting and tracking so-called stealthy targets. While the F-35 relies on being invisible, the Gripen is designed to find things that are trying to hide. It uses a network of different sensors that can spot the faintest electronic or heat signature, building a detailed picture even when its main radar can't see a thing. It challenges the very idea that stealth is the ultimate trump card in air combat. It's a bit like having a world-class detective on board, one that can piece together tiny clues to solve the big picture. On top of all this, the Gripen E is famously efficient. It was designed from the ground up to be easy to maintain and cheap to fly. It can operate from short, makeshift runways on public roads and can be refueled and rearmed by a small ground crew in minutes. This is a huge advantage over the F-35, which requires extensive specialized infrastructure. The Gripen offers world-class capability without the world-class headache. It's a pragmatic, powerful, and incredibly intelligent piece of engineering that now finally getting the global attention it deserves. Now we get to the core of the issue, the thing that's really making countries think twice. It's a concept called technological sovereignty. It sounds complicated, but it's actually quite simple. Do you have full control over the technology you buy? When a country buys a fleet of fighter jets, they're not just buying the metal, engines, and missiles. They're buying into a whole system, a technological ecosystem that includes software, data links, mission planning tools, and future upgrades. The crucial question is who controls that ecosystem? Who holds the keys to the software that makes the whole thing work? With the F-35, the answer is unequivocally the United States. The jet is a flying supercomputer, and its software is managed through a centralized U.S.-controlled network. Upgrades, threat libraries, and even certain operational data are all routed through American systems. For years, this was seen as a strength, a global network of allies all using the same cutting-edge tech. But in a world where your main ally's political direction can change every 4 years, that locked-in dependency is starting to look like a potential vulnerability. What if access to a critical software patch is delayed or denied for political reasons? It's a risk that nations are no longer willing to ignore. This is where Saab and the Gripen E offer a completely different philosophy. The Swedish approach is built on the promise of total technological sovereignty. When you buy the Gripen, you buy the whole package, including the keys. Saab gives the customer nation full access to the source code for the jet software. This means they can modify, update, and tailor the aircraft systems to their own specific needs without having to ask for permission from another country.